Okay, so I wanted to do a quick review for the Silent Partner movie from 1978. Kind of a forgotten movie, honestly. It stars Elliot Gould, and basically Christopher Plummer is the villain, and he tries to rob a bank. It's like a bank in a mall, and it's in Canada, and he dresses up, and it's during Christmas time. He's has a good outfit for it. He's dressed up as a Santa Claus, and he writes on the note that he has a gun and he wants the money. And right before this, Elliot Gould, when he gets the large deposits, instead of putting it in the drawer, because I think it will keep overflowing, I think he instead puts it in like a lunchbox. So he tries to rob him. He gets the money, but he notices it's not that much, and he says, "Oh, well, I just saw a guy do a large deposit." So then he gives him a couple hundreds, and the clip goes off, which then is a tripwire for the security guard, and then the security guard starts chasing him down. So they think he got almost $50,000, but really he got, I think, just like maybe 5,000 or something, and the rest Elliot Gould has. So no one knows that he actually has most of the money, and they just blame Christopher Plummer. And then this sets off a series of events where Christopher Plummer, he knows who Elliot Gould is. He knows where he lives because he knows his name, and this became a big story for the news. So they interview Elliot Gould, and Christopher Plummer is, chasing him down, trying to get the money back, which is why it's called the Silent Partner, because it's like, we're partners. He says, like, I'll even let you keep a little bit of the cash, but I want most of it. And this sets up the rest of the movie. So this I've always really loved this movie. Can't put my finger on exactly why, but there's something about it. It's just very watchable. I like every scene with Christopher Plummer is amazing. I think he's great in this. Elliot Gould, I've never been a massive fan, but he's really good in this. Apparently back in the early 70s they were trying to make him like an action star or something. I don't think that fits at all, but yeah, this is a very good movie, I would say. Now the scenes without him or Elliot Gould are maybe a little slow. I mean, it's 1978. But yeah, I really enjoy it. It has two directors, which is really weird, because the director Daryl Duke walked off the film due to creative differences. Then Curtis Hanson, who had originally intended to direct the film, took over the remainder of the shoot as well as the pickup shots and handled all the post-production of the film. So, kind of surprised that the movie's so good, honestly, in my opinion. But and Curtis Hanson is a pretty legit director. Died in 2016, but LA Confidential, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, 8 Mile. So his best movie is LA Confidential that I've seen. I mean, I actually thought 8 Mile was a good movie. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember watching it back then and thinking, wow, this is actually not bad. I mean, for Eminem, who's not an actor, Chasing Mavericks, I think I've heard of that. That's Gerald Butler. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, check this movie out. I would say it's definitely a forgotten movie, but it's a good I guess you'd call it a thriller. It says it's a, yeah, thriller. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's what I would call it too. Um, Christopher Plummer is an amazing actor. He's been in tons of different stuff. He's a very good villain in this. I like how he just kind of slowly is watching him, and then he calls him in his apartment after he's been in there, and kind of moves some stuff around. So he knew someone had been in there. So pretty creepy. And he's basically like, "Give me the money, or I'm gonna be in the apartment one night when you get back, and you're not gonna like me then." So, um, pretty creepy premise on there. And yeah, I just like the way the movie's made and edited. uh pretty good cinematography. But yeah, there's just something about this movie. It's very watchable. Elliot Gould held a private screening for legendary suspense thriller director Alfred Hitchcock, who apparently loved it. It does kind of remind me of like a Hitchcock movie in some ways. Kind of simple but interesting, and the tone is very direct and slowly building until the ending. A young John Candy's in this too, just for like a few scenes. He's a co-worker at the bank. One of the first Canadian films to be developed and financed by the Canadian government's capital cost allowance. Controversial for being a tax shelter scheme. Thriller writer Curtis Hanson, first successful suspense movie. Hanson would go on to write and direct, yeah, LA Confidential, The Bedroom Window, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. The main location for this movie, shown in the opening shot, is the Toronto Eaton Centre, a mall and office tower complex. It was opened a few months before the movie was shot. As of 2015, it was still the most visited shopping mall in North America. The bank branch was real, but the name was fictional, and was located on the first level near a small fountain that has been removed. The film was nominated for several Canadian Film Awards and won Best Feature Film, Best Director, Best Editing, Best Musical Score, Best Sound Editing, and Best Overall Sound. The film drastically changes its color palette from light to dark in the second half of the film, done purpose by cinematographer Billy Williams to reflect the tone of the movie, which gets more edgy and suspenseful towards the end. Oh, it's based on a novel. Think of a Number. Published in 1968. Movie was made about 9 years after the first film version of that novel. So it's a remake? Huh. A bank teller suspects an imminent bank robbery and stashes a fortune. Yeah, it's the same. Wow, it even looks similar. Like the color palette. That's interesting. Oh, is this... I think it's German. Okay, I never knew that. So I guess it is a remake of, I think, a German movie? Huh. The original score was composed by the great jazz pianist Oscar Peterson, and a soundtrack was released for the film, which was more in tune to his regular jazz albums by Pablo Records. The actual film score was recorded in London. Mick Jagger was considered to play Harry Rekel. Is that his boss? That's kind of weird. Okay. Mick Jagger. But yeah, I just want to do a quick review of this. I really like the movie. I think it's definitely underrated. Let's see who shot it. Oh, the guy worked on The Exorcist, one of the cinematographer. Um, Night Watch. I haven't seen a lot of these other movies, but I guess he's Canadian. Oh, he shot Gandhi. Yeah. Billy Williams is the cinematographer. So, but yeah, it's an interesting movie. You know, with Christopher Plummer, he's really good in this too. He's a really good villain. There's a really good shot of his eyes when he's looking through the peephole or the mail hole or whatever for Elliot Gould's apartment door. That's probably the most famous shot of the movie. But yeah, I just like the it's like he knows who Elliot Gould is, and Elliot Gould ends up following him. He finds out who he is, tries to get him arrested. Then he gets out, and then he's after Elliot Gould again. Elliot Gould hides the money in a safety deposit box in his bank, because to not have it in his apartment, because he kind of suspects maybe this guy will come after me, because when the police interview him, he gives them like a fake picture of the guy. You know, he's looking through the mugshots, and he picks someone that isn't Christopher Plummer, even though he looked at the mugshots with Christopher Plummer, because obviously if he gets caught, then he'll say, oh, he has the rest of the money, and that will put suspicion on him, although they maybe wouldn't believe him, because, you know, they could just be like, well, he spent all the money or whatever. You know, someone else stole it from him, so they probably wouldn't believe him. But, yeah, it's just an interesting premise because, you know, it's like Elliot Gould has most of the money, not the guy who robbed the bank, but everyone thinks that the guy that robbed the bank actually has the money. So, I just think it's an interesting premise, and if you're into 70s movies, I'd check it out, especially Christopher Plummer. You know, great actor. So, but yeah, that's about it. If you could do me a favor and smash that like button, that'd be great. It really helps the channel. If you're a fan of LA Confidential or 8 Mile, maybe check out an early work from this director. So, but yeah, that's about it. See you next time.